Good morning, Bucknutters. Welcome to the Bucknuts Morning 5 here on Monday, July 8th, 2024. I am Dave Biddle, very happy to be joined by Dan Rubin. A lot of good stuff to get into. Buckeyes landed Riley Pettijohn on Saturday, five-star linebacker. Absolutely love that. And David Sanders Jr. is going to make his announcement exactly 2 weeks before Ohio State's season opener on August 17th. What are the vibes there? Is it an Ohio State-Tennessee battle? Who might be leading? Dan and I will opine on all of that good stuff and much more. I want to let you guys know about one of our great sponsors here, Mando. This is full body deodorant for men. Mando, great stuff. And we can get you guys a good deal here. Now, I'm going to Big Ten Media Days in exactly 2 weeks, and I like simplifying my travel. Mando's got a great thing if you're traveling. They got a lot of great stuff. Simplified travel with Mando's 4-in-1 acidified cleansing bar. It's a 5-ounce bar that does the work of shampoo, face wash, body wash, and deodorant. You can also use it to create a rich shaving lather. So technically, it's 5-in-1. It's clinically proven to control odor for 48 hours. Mando's 4-in-1 acidified cleansing bar is formulated with a gentle alpha hydroxy acid that stops odor at the source. Regular soap can't do that because the pH is too high. Now, do I have any idea what pH or alpha hydroxy acids are? No, but it just works. A doctor developed it. A real doctor developed it. She's a real doctor. Mando's starter pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like mini body wash and deodorant wipes, and free shipping. Luckily, I have a discount code to help you get hooked on my favorite smelling whole body deodorant on the market. New customers get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code. That equates to over 40% off your starter pack. Use code Bucknuts at shopmando.com. shopmando.com. There you go. Mando. All right. Dan, you're looking good. You're smelling good, I think. Hope everybody is safe. Mrs. Sanchez, I hope you're safe down there. I know you guys are dealing with the hurricane. Goodness gracious. Prayers up to you guys. Hope everyone stays safe. Goodness gracious. All right. Speaking of the state of Texas, Riley Pettijohn is a Buckeye. Love that. James Laurinaitis, to no surprise, is, and already, I'm not going to say he's going to be a star. He already, in my book, is a star, to the surprise of nobody. What was kind of the ebb and flow of this recruitment? Did the Buckeyes kind of lead the whole way? What's kind of your assessment of this recruitment? And obviously, we love the way it ended up, Dan Rubin.
I think they definitely had zeroed in on him early. Anytime you're going after a guy that good out of state, we can get into all the state ramifications. It seems we may be entering uncharted waters when it comes to in-state prospects as well. But I know he was always high on their list and was a favorite of Laurinaitis. I did note that when Riley made his announcement live on 24/7 Sports with Tom Loy on there, first thing he said when he got the standard why Ohio State, first thing he said was relationship with James Laurinaitis. Pretty much you could have shut it off right there and gone on to the rest of your weekend. So that was a tremendous pickup. I went back and watched. I had watched a lot of Riley while they were recruiting him, but I went back and watched a ton of them after the commitment and kind of put some stuff in context. There was some chatter that Texas maybe wasn't as interested because he's not kind of your classic big, thick middle linebacker. I would say this. You want to talk about an ascending prospect? He played defensive end or was an edge guy up until last season. So the last guy I remember they did it in college, but took an edge guy and put him at middle linebacker was Ryan Shazier. I'm not saying he's Ryan Shazier, but if you watch the tape, he's a fantastic tackler. If he's not blocked, he's making the tackle. That's one thing you can see. Another thing you want to check out, and it's pretty cool, you can watch all the recruiting and scouting videos, but Texas high school football is so good that there is pretty much a highlight film for every game they played last year, made at broadcast quality, and you can follow him. They play an incredible schedule. So in terms of big boy football, he's as prepared as he could be. He'll probably gain some weight. He looks like he's got some weight to put on. He's only about 6'1.5". I think sometimes they list him at 6'2", about 215. but he's not a thick guy yet. He's going to be, you get him in the program here and stuff. He looks like he'll be able to run around at about 230, 235, hopefully. Very big time prospect. Anytime you get a top 10 linebacker from the state of Texas and you're not in Texas, that's just a major achievement.
Yeah, and I don't get it, man. I mean, the trend, and this is not a new trend. The NFL, when we were growing up, linebackers, with the big neck roll, about 260 pounds out there. Man, the NFL's gone to smaller linebackers. And again, this is not a new trend. It's interesting that Texas would have that stance. Hey, good for us. Here's another thing about Pettijohn. I mean, you know this. Yeah, he's only 215 pounds right now. Well, he's entering his senior year of high school. He'll definitely fill out and get up to, as you mentioned, easily will get to 230 and keep his speed. A lot of those guys even get faster because of, all the training they do. Another thing, this kid is a track star. How many linebackers are track stars? Usually when you hear of a track star, the football player, what is he? Wide receiver, corner, right? Usually. This is the first time I've heard a linebacker is a track star. I love it. He's out there facing guys that are probably 170 pounds soaking wet. He's running track. Love it. What a great get. Great get. All right. David Sanders Jr. Talk about it. He is announcing August 17th. Now, it's simple to say. Now, the final four are Ohio State, Tennessee, Georgia, and Nebraska. A lot of people are like, question mark on that last one. Okay, well, good for Matt Rule to even be in the final four. I don't think he's going to pick Nebraska. It seems to be, correct me if I'm wrong, Dan, an Ohio State-Tennessee battle pretty much for David Sanders.
Hold on a sec, Dave. Juliet Pettijohn has joined the chat, and today is her son's 17th birthday. Now, that is cool. I'm glad we said a lot of good stuff about him. We would have if we didn't think you were on there, but definitely happy birthday. And thank you for doing it on a Sunday, not a Monday, or on the weekend, not on a Monday on your birthday, so that we could have everything set up. But yeah, we're ecstatic he's joined the fold, and we hope Juliet is now a regular viewer, as other Texas parents have become, and we have appreciated that greatly. David Sanders. It seems there's some interest from the Bucknutters in getting David Sanders, Dave. I'm not sure if you've noticed this. I mean, Justin Fry, I don't want to make a joke about getting a flight out of town or his mortgage, but it would be good for Justin to get him in terms of his standing within the Ohio State community. And yes, from everything we've learned, and it does seem like our guys are up on this, that it's a Tennessee-Ohio State battle at this point. There's some people who think that Tennessee may lead. There's plenty of time to go here, and I think this is going to come up in other talk. You're going to get the NIL question here, and it seems almost a pattern reaction when we miss out on somebody that we wanted, that we say it's an NIL deal. I mean, my sources will tell. I don't think we've lost anyone because of the NIL yet. That I think I would surprise some people. And we talked about this last week. David Sanders is, if you compare it to the NFL, he's a franchise player. His salary or his NIL won't be an issue. It'll be the max. So that's what you're dealing with at this point. Who knows what it'll come down to in the very, very end? Hopefully Ohio State's, tradition and ability to produce pros is better than that of Tennessee. Now, Tennessee is a pretty good program now. I know we tend to look down at programs. Many, many pros have come from Tennessee. So it's not like he's choosing an alternate route. But Tennessee's a little bit closer to North Carolina. So we've got X number of weeks to close the deal here. And like I said, the one important thing to remember is I do not think this is an NIL battle. This is just where the guy wants to play football.
And J-Book reported on our site last night that the NIL collectives feel pretty good about this for Ohio State. And he's not implying that. He's hearing that directly from high up people in both of the major NIL collectives. So that's great news.
I can echo those sentiments from similar tangential people.
Yes.
Same level, different dudes.
Yep. Yeah, I think I might know who you're referring to there. Yeah, if I was putting in a crystal ball, which I don't do that, I'd put one in for the Buckeyes. I do. I do feel like Tennessee has a good shot at him, but I feel like Ohio State is going to land David Sanders Jr. Just too much is adding up here. Everything we're hearing, right down to the fact that he looks up to Paris Johnson Jr. and Monica Daniels is here in town in Columbus and has met with David Sanders and his parents. You have of course, the Sanchez's doing their thing, working on him as well. So they were here when he was here on his visit. The Sanchez's had a surprise visit to be here when David Sanders was here. So, as Mrs. Pettijohn is quickly figuring out, it's a big family, and hopefully David Sanders can join that family. And I think he will. Okay. Now, I'm keeping it glass half full for sure. Now, let's say the Buckeyes don't land Sanders. It's tough sledding there, man, because where do they turn then? I mean, Josh Petty seems like obviously that'd be a great get. Hopefully they can get both of them. Seems like a long shot to me, though. Then Javon McFadden seems like he'd be a good get. Listed as an interior offensive lineman, only a 3-star, but 6'5", 300. Maybe he could play tackle out of the DMV. Anybody else? I mean, if they lose Sanders, again, I don't think they will. If they do, where do they turn?
Apparently we're having some technical difficulties, so we appreciate everyone battling through with us. Look, tackle has not been the strongest recruiting standpoint for them for a couple years here. They've been in the mix for several and not gotten it down the stretch. You've named the names. They can't. I mean, do they always have someone in reserve they can go after? Sure, but they're not going to be on the level of these dudes. One thing about Sanders, Dave, if you look at the way the roster is now, I mean, you never want to promise playing time to a freshman, but he'd certainly be in the mix. I mean, when Paris came here, he played some guard, before he moved to left tackle. So it could happen. It could happen. There's a lot of eggs in the Sanders basket, though, if that's what we were alluding to.
Yes, and I think those eggs are going to hatch. I'm feeling pretty good about it. So we've had some I don't know if people can even see me right now because we're having the technical difficulties. But we've had some comments like, are Dave and Dan playing golf today? And somebody else was like, no, those aren't golf shirts. Those look like more like beach shirts. That's right. This is our newest sponsor, Chubbies. Chubbies, great clothing company. This particular shirt's called French Toast Sticks. Dan's got a nice Hawaiian shirt. Mine's called French Toast Sticks.
I think this is the Magnum PI special or something like that. That's not really the name.
That's perfect. Magnum PI. Who doesn't want to live in Hawaii, be a private investigator, have a buddy that flies a helicopter? I mean, it's just
one of the best shows ever. You forgot the best part. He drove a 308 Ferrari.
Yeah, yes, he did. I always thought the chopper was the cool thing, but you're right. The Ferrari, pretty cool as well.
A red Ferrari like that you won't struggle socially.
My mom was talking about the other day. My elderly mom was talking about how she loves that show Tom Selleck. I'm like, oh yeah, Magnum PI. She's like, no, Blue Bloods. I'm like,
oh, good Lord,
come on, Magnum PI is what you're talking about. All right, so Chubbies, a lifestyle apparel brand that has no equivalent in all of human history. Chubbies has crafted the most comfortable clothing with the most unique designs ever, and it's near impossible to wear them without being filled with the sense that life is truly a beautiful, awe-inspiring mystery with no fixed destination. So why not look good and feel good along the journey? No, seriously. Chubbies offers a huge variety of high-quality men's apparel, from super stretchy shorts and swim trunks in 3-seam lengths to pants, polos, and button-down shirts for when you need to hit up your fave weekend brunch spot. When others see you sporting Chubbies in the wild, they're bound to say, oh, wow, that person is wearing Chubbies. I now immediately respect them and think they're cool. For a limited time, Chubbies is giving our listeners 20% off your order with our exclusive code Bucknuts. Use code Bucknuts at chubbiesshorts.com. And would you look at that? Folks, for a limited time, our friends at Chubbies are giving our listeners 20% off with the promo code Bucknuts at checkout at chubbiesshorts.com. That's 20% off your order with the promo code Bucknuts. Support our show and tell them we sent you. Don't just blend in with the crowd. Stand out with Chubbies. I'm digging this shirt, man. I like it. I like yours as well.
It's really comfortable, by the way.
It is.
There was a time when clothing wasn't that comfortable, like T-shirts, and everyone now has gone to this really soft material. So very, very thankful that Chubbies is a sponsor and can up the fashion game. And for those who ask, not golf. Your boy don't swing the clubs.
Yeah, Dan and I think they're only big-time sports guys who don't play golf. I played golf. I have golf clubs right over here, but they haven't been used this year. I think I maybe used them once last year. I'm just not a golfer. And all my friends are, other than Dan, are all golfers.
Yep,
all of them.
Me too.
It's
I'll drive
strange.
the cart every now and then, but it's just not for me. I got enough vices that make me act crazy.
Yeah, exactly. I know. I wish I was good at it. That's another thing. Like if I was good at golf, I'm sure I'd love it. But never was my thing. All right. As I said when we were talking about our other sponsor, Mando, I'm leaving in exactly 2 weeks for media days. Patrick Murphy did a little story trying to predict who, I don't know if he actually predicted, but looking at who might be the 3 player reps for Ohio State. It's going to be, man, I tell you what, you can make a salient argument for about, and I'm just looking at the seniors, right? Because I mean, with all the guys that came back, you got to throw a bone to them. You can make a salient argument for about 10 guys. Okay, now JTT, I know it's not technically JTT. Even Ryan Day calls him JTT. Tuimoloau went last year. He's unquestionably one of the leaders of this team. A leader of men, no doubt about it. But I think because he went last year, JTT will not go. Just my prediction.
Dave, refresh my memory. Who went last year?
So last year it was Sawyer, Marv, and JT. Sawyer, Marv, and JT. So JT would be the only returning possibility. So I don't think he's going to, especially with all these guys they have to choose from. So I think Emeka Egbuka is a lock. An absolute
I wrote that down
lock.
first. That's my first one. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I would bet the house on that, unless like he doesn't want to go or something, like has something going on. That has happened before where guys just don't want to go.
Sure.
The coach is like, cool, we'll take somebody else.
He'll go.
He'll go. He'll go. Marv went last year, so Emeka's thinking, okay, I'm going to go this year. I'm going to predict Jack Sawyer will go. Normally I might say JT. Jack Sawyer did not go last year.
Oh, I thought you said he went last year.
Oh, did I say last year? I said, I meant Cade Stover.
Okay.
Stover.
I didn't know that. Okay, I'll go Sawyer then. I was going to say Tyleek Williams, but I'll go Sawyer. I almost ended up getting
Ohio Farm Boys mixed up, but Sawyer grew up in a really nice house in Pickerington, not on a farm like Cade Stover. But no, I'm not getting my Ohio Farm Boys mixed up because Sawyer's not a farm boy. But okay, so it was Stover, Marv, and JT last year. So I think it's going to be Sawyer this year for a couple of reasons. He definitely is one of the leaders of this team. And don't forget, Ryan Day, when he got the job, the first guy that he reached out to, the first recruit, was Jack Sawyer. Yep. Kind of the linchpin of that 2021 recruiting.
Number one player in his class.
Yeah, so, and he was the one having guys come over to his house and stay, and when all the COVIDs, I don't know if it was during COVID or what the deal was, but anyway, he always was like a leader of that class, and it's really, underachieved maybe a little bit. I think maybe that's unfair because they were moving him around so much as a sophomore. Last year, they weren't moving him around. He came on at the end of the year and looked really good. So I think Sawyer will go. And then, man, I'll go Denzel Burke for my third. But, man, you could say Cody Simon, Tyleek, Ty Hamilton, Jordan Hancock.
You got my vote yet.
So, like Will Howard.
I go Travion Henderson.
Travion Henderson, yeah.
That's my guess. Burke would be great because he's a great quote, and I think he just seems very comfortable in front of the camera. You got your Emeka and Sawyer. I would say, based on exactly everything you've said, that they're the odds-on favorites in that third spot. Maybe they give it to Trey because he was so cool about bringing another transfer and sharing the crowded backfield, but. I'll say this. There are times when we've done this chat and I've been like, I'm not sure. And you are absolutely right that there's an overflow list of choices this year, which hopefully is a sign that we're going to have an experienced, tough team for sure.
We have some people like saying, only just to be clear, this is not captains. This is just, they send 3 player reps. Right. 3 player reps. This is for Big Ten Media Days. We're not talking. And I bet you for captains, they'll pick more. Usually, Dan, like I'm not a fan, like, used to be, it was like 4 captains. That's what you have. There was 4 captains. In fact, the year they won the national championship in 2002, there were 2 captains. It was Mike Doss and it was Donnie Nicky. The 2, the 3-year starting safeties. Nicky, I think, might have been a 4-year starter. Yeah, he was because he started as redshirt freshman. So the 2 starting safeties. And then Krenzel ended up being like a rotating kind of, they'd throw him in there sometimes as a captain late in the year. So they had like 3 captains, really. And then it was basically 4 captains. Urban took over. There was one year they had like 16 captains or something like that. Like Braxton and Kenny Guyton were both captains. They had a bunch of captains. I'm like, that's too many. This year, I'm okay with more than 4. I don't want like 16, but it's going to be interesting to see what they do. But just for those that are wondering, we're just talking about Big Ten Media Days. A lot of people are agreeing with the JT, or not the JT, the Sawyer, Burke, Emeka.
Yep.
Like right here. Yeah. That's
probably your Vegas faves.
We should, and then Bucknuts Sportsbook, we're gonna put that at favorite.
We're not
I don't think people are wondering about Will Howard. I would strongly doubt that. Now, do I think right now, if Ryan Day was given truth serum, he would say that Will Howard's a starting quarterback? Yes. He knows who his starting quarterback is. There's no way he's going to take Will Howard to Big Ten Media Days, which, again, is 2 weeks from today, before camp starts, basically announcing to the world that this is our starting quarterback. You're not bringing somebody who's competing for the job. So I don't think Will Howard's really – and he's a transfer. You're going to want to like reward all the guys that came back. I heard somebody say Caleb Downs, maybe next year for Caleb Downs, not this year as a sophomore with all these seniors. So I don't think Will Howard's really a factor. Travion would be a good one, though, especially the fact that he didn't whine at all. In fact, did the opposite of whining. Bringing Quinshon Judkins in, he embraced it. Okay?
Yeah.
That shows a lot. So I think they might that's a strong – we might have to remove Burke and put Henderson as our second most likely scenario there, but we'll see what happens. Okay, because the connection is not great, we're not going to go too late today. I apologize for the connection. Not sure what's going on. If that's an issue on our end or if that's an issue on StreamYard's end, but hopefully you guys could at least hear the show. And if you didn't see our faces, probably not the worst thing that'll ever happen to you is not seeing our faces. So, but really appreciate you guys.
Radio, Dave.
Yeah, really appreciate you guys tuning in, and thanks to Dan Rubin for his knowledge. Thanks to Dan. Thanks to all of you. Hope everyone has a great rest of your day.